I'm not here to talk about my business. I'm here to talk about the community. I love this community, and it energizes me. I want it to be safe. I want the success to continue. So I'm opening up a conversation about safety in the community. So I'd like you to listen as if I were talking about cybersecurity, because really what I'm talking about is people security. And in terms of what the New York State law is right now, and I have some lawyer friends in the audience, and after everybody talks, we'd be happy to talk to you about this. This is a workplace. So under New York State law, anything that happens in this workplace, whether you're an employee or not, is covered by that law. So we want to make sure you're safe. And the catalyst for me speaking to you today is that I've heard here and there in the community some minor issues of harassment, what I would call the mild end of the scale. And I'd like to open the conversation and innovate this. I don't want to see us go down the path of Silicon Valley. Let's not have something like that happen. So that's the pain point. That's why I'm here. So the money that's lost, and really the reason why this has become an issue in the last couple of years is the technology of self-publishing. So before there was self-publishing, we never heard about this stuff. I've been in HR over 25 years. It might be shocking or surprising to you. I've known about this all along. This has been the law for 40 years. So where the breaking point came was that they were crossing the boundaries and violating the law and driving people, women and other people out, marginalized people. And you talk a lot about recruitment and retention. You want to hire people, you want to keep people. It gets around pretty quickly in a small community if you've got a leader or someone in control who's a jerk. And that's what happened to this guy. So I want to give you some advice and open up that conversation. So there are I don't want to talk about the morality of it. Sure, there's morality. I don't want to talk about what you should or shouldn't do. I want to tell you what it will do. It'll kill your reputation. It could kill your business. It could kill your livelihood. When I do training, and I want to share that wisdom with you, I always act as if I'm being filmed, and I am being filmed, right? Anybody can film you. Anybody can record you. So if you need any incentive, it's the reputational. It's the financial. We want to keep you safe. We want to keep you successful. The word gets around. So here are the 10 tips. So tip number 10 is educate yourself. Your container is actually covered, by the way, an entrepreneurial container, anywhere where it can be a place of employment. So understand where the boundaries are. If you don't know what harassment is, educate yourself. There's some terrible videos on the Department of Labor website, and there's a dedicated website, and they have a presentation. It's free. You can start there. Educate yourself so you know where the boundaries are. And by the way, anybody can be the harasser. It's not limited by gender. It's not limited by age. Usually, when harassment happens, it's somebody who's in a position of power over somebody else. People get really confused. They think it's about sex. It's about abuse of power that happens to be sexual. So this is one that people, and I'm happy to keep explaining this. Wherever 2 or more employees are gathered, you don't have to be in your workplace. So Brown's is a workplace. If you're here with one or more of your employees, it's an extension of your workplace. So if you're at Brown's at the bar having a good time, and one of your colleagues or somebody in the room comes up and pinches you on the butt, it's as if you're at work. So we want you to understand to not only keep others safe, but to keep yourselves safe. And those boundaries apply. So number 8, intent versus impact. We can't read each other's minds. You didn't intend to harass somebody. It's kind of like, I was smoking and I tossed my cigarette away in a dry brush field and it started a forest fire. I didn't intend for it to start a forest fire. It doesn't matter. I'm still accountable for the forest fire. That's how this works. We can't read each other's minds. When we can, Maybe that will change. And please do me a favor, don't do this. Don't text or email or sext. Can I tell you something? I've been investigating, like I said, harassment for over 25 years. This makes my job easy when I'm investigating harassment. It's an automatic paper trail. You're documenting your behavior. I want to keep emphasizing, either you're documenting your behavior or somebody else is. So please don't do that, or you'll end up like him. Let's talk about dating. So I know that people date and get married in the workplace. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying use some common sense. No means no. One and done. If somebody turns you down, don't keep bothering them. So one of the pieces of information that I got from a member of this community was incessant asking after the first no. No means no. And do me a favor, please don't, if you're like the head of the company or the manager, don't date your subordinates. It's just a recipe for disaster. But if you want to roll the dice, remember, I mean, I'm telling you where the boundaries are. That's where the risk is. And number 5, please don't touch people. I know it's hard. You know, after I do a training, people will touch each other on the arm and they'll be like, oh my God, Deb saw me. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't know, did you see this on TV, this young woman, this waitress? It's a great video. I don't advise that employees throw their customers across the restaurant, but that's what she did. And this guy, that's sexual battery. Him pinching her on the butt, that is sexual assault. He got arrested. Please don't do that. Number 4, and I just mentioned this and I'll mention it again, don't abuse your position of power. Don't make people engage in conduct of a sexual nature because you have financial or positional power over them. Be the upstander. Use your power for good. And if a complaint is filed against you, I had this happen once. Don't investigate your own complaint. Lawyer friends, could you raise your hand? Lawyer friends in the room. See these lawyers? Don't investigate your own complaint. Either call a lawyer, call me, and I'll send you to a lawyer. Okay? Don't investigate it yourself. And then, first, don't do it. If you don't know what it is, lawyer friends and myself, we can tell you a little bit more about what that involves because we don't want to go the way of Silicon Valley. I don't want to have anybody be on this stage and talk about the aftermath of something terrible happening in our community. Keep us safe. And I'm done. Any questions? Yes, Ron.
What advice would you give to a company to find out how well they're doing, how poorly they're doing?
You mean in terms of training people?
Right.
I mean, lawyer friends. I mean, you can ask a lawyer friend. You can ask me. And by the way, anybody in this room or in this community, questions are always on the house. There's no such thing as a dumb question, and questions are always on the house. Ask. Ask. And if you need more, one of us will let you know. Thanks. Any other questions? Yes.
You mentioned the Department of Labor video. Are there other state-run websites or other resources that
you know what I really recommend? What New York has done is created a check-the-box training. What's most effective is when the head of a business is at the front of a room with one of my lawyer friends or somebody like me, and we're conducting the training, and their employees see their leadership. That's the most effective. But if you want to check the box and make sure, as a small employer, that you're compliant, there are a lot of companies who are offering self-directed training. I call it check the box training because while your employees are being educated, it usually doesn't sink in. None of this is a guarantee, by the way, that harassment is going to happen. We just want to inform people about their responsibility. Can I answer your question?
Yes.
It's a good question. Okay. Any other questions? Jason, am I done? Thank you.